You start your budget by having some columns that you can put your money into. So you want to break your columns down into things that you need to have a certain amount of money in for. These are my columns. I need to make sure that my rent, I have money for my rent every month, money that I have for my kids. How much do you spend on food every week? How much do you want to have in a balance for utilities? This is stuff like cleanser and light bulbs, garbage bags, things like that. And this is the column for my car. This is money that I might someday have for a car, but also I use this for an overflow account. I might have any extra money goes in here, and when I get enough money for a car, if I should need one, hopefully I'll have enough. This is money that I have for teaching. I can have buy things and maybe get reimbursed or not. This is money that comes out of my pocket. This is my health account. This is how much money I spend or have available for quick health costs. My clothes, any clothes that I buy come out of here, and how much money I have for a fund. This is a separation. And this column here is how much money I owe to my credit cards. So all of these other columns, all of these columns are how much I have available to spend, and this is how much I owe my credit card. So, and I try to pay this off. When I pay it off, this is where I paid it down for this Discover card. That was the full balance, so the amount dropped from here to here. And I'll get into that a little bit more later. All of these accounts are how much money I have available to spend. When I spend some money from the account, then it goes down. And this credit card, every time I use a credit card, it goes up. When I spend money from an account, it goes down. Credit cards go up. How much money I have is equal to how much money I have in my checking accounts plus how much money I have in cash minus how much I owe on my credit cards. So these amounts, all the checking money available in my checking accounts plus the cash that I have minus how much I owe is how much I have available in these accounts. So this minus this is equal to how much I have in my checking and my cash. I have two checking accounts. I have one that's local and one that's left over from when I was in Vegas. You might only have one checking account, and it's simpler if you do. Deposits are one column. That's where money is added to your checking account. And every time you write a check or use a checking account is reduced here. You add deposits and subtract, uses of your credit here. So this is called a debit, and this is called a credit. When you credit your account, it means you're adding money to it. And a debit, you're debiting your account, money comes out of it. The total money that I have in this checking account, plus the total money that I have in this checking account, plus all of my cash, minus the credit card column, is how much money I have available to spend with all of these columns combined. These columns minus the credit card is equal to both of my checking account balances plus the cash that I have. The first step to balancing everything out is to balance the checking account. So I need to go through and check my bank records against what I have written here, and my bank records will equal everything that they have on file so far that hasn't cleared. Maybe these last few things won't be in there, but all this other stuff will. And when I check one of those against my bank records, I put a check saying I've accounted for that. These ones that are not checked are the ones that I haven't verified against my checking account. I do that each month when I get the statement from them. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that all of this information is complete. I'm going to go through my online bank statement and write in anything that I've forgotten to write into here. Probably won't have very many things. I'm pretty diligent about writing things in, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So what I do is I look at each item and make sure that it's written in to my checkbook. All I do is write it in if I don't have it written down. Okay, I'm going to go down. I'm looking for this $300 item. Okay, I see that. I look for this $200 item. I see that. And I go down and every one of those items I look for, and I just make sure it's in here. One of the ones that always stands out is this deposit dividend, this 15 cents. Every month my checking account will get some money added into it by having a minimum balance of a certain amount. And that, I write that in, or I just might add that in somewhere. Proper thing to do would be add it in and put a 15-cent balance credit to the account right there. But I might just add 15 cents somewhere. All right, another good reason why you'd want to check these against your checkbook is because you want to look for any unauthorized transactions. Okay, if it has a negative amount on it, then that means the money came out of your account. And if it has a positive amount, the money was added. These ones are check numbers. These are check numbers, so those were checks that I wrote. The rest of these, I might have them in here as I paid a bill with bill pay, or I got an ATM I deposited, so that's how I write my, and I went to the ATM and I got some cash. ATM cash looks like a withdrawal right there. Okay, now that I'm satisfied I have my checkbook completely filled out and everything that's on the bank statements here, and I've written everything down. I have some items here that I haven't entered into my master budget. So I can see this one here, 3040, this check number 3040. I wrote that check, and I see it here, 3040. I write what I wrote the check to, how I paid the money, and how much it was. So that's there. All right, from my checkbook, I had all of these entries already put in to my master budget, but I did not have this check, this cash. This is the amount of money in my checkbook. It's part of the amount of money that I have available to spend. This is how I plan to spend it. Since my checkbook and my cash are both available to spend, I don't put the cash in here. The next entry is this Chase Visa. I paid that. And I showed I paid it with a bill pay on 25 April 14th in the amount of $290.20. And this is how it looks in my master budget. My date is 25 April 14th. I paid Chase Visa using bill pay the amount. And over here, my credit card column, I show that the amount comes off and the amount that I owe my credit card is decreased by $290.20. This is what I do with my deposits. I have two deposits. I have one that I was refunded some money, so I got a $200 check. I deposited that into my checking account, and I deposited my paycheck into my checking account. Yep, that's all teachers get for 2 weeks worth of pay. 15 April 14, I've deposited my refund $200, and I use the car column as my placeholder for large amounts that I increase or decrease to. Put the 200 in, and I'm just going to add this $200 in. So it's in two places. Any transaction